Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Doshi here, and
I think mountains, we don't choose mountains. I think mountains choose us. And
I'm a 25-year-old guy who loves his life to the fullest.
एक अलग सा ही नशा है इन पहाड़ों में, you know.
I am a celebrity manager, I'm a Bollywood reporter, I'm a motivational speaker, India's youngest parenting coach, and a TEDx speaker.
नॉर्मल डेज में तो मैं बिल्डिंग की सीढ़ियाँ नहीं चढ़ता. यहाँ पे मैं 7 माउंटेन्स चढ़ गया.
And a crazy traveler.
There has to be something about mountains.
So Harsh, congratulations on reaching the Everest Base Camp. There are not many people who can go and do it. So we'll start with the first question.
Thank you so much. Let's get started.
Yeah. So the first question is like, Harsh, when did you decide that you want to go to camping to Everest Base Camp, and why Everest?
Well, why Everest? Because I think I am a crazy traveler. I have done a lot of trekking, and I think Everest is everyone's dream. I'm not sure about everyone, but it was clearly my dream and something very huge on my bucket list. And I'm like, let's do this. And actually, I had no plans going there. And I was like, okay, there's something called Chadar Trek, which happens in Ladakh. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. But when I went for the booking, the guy's like, dude, there's something like Everest Base Camp, you should be doing this. And I'm like, dude, that has been on my list ever since. And I'm like, wow, let's do the Everest Base Camp. And that's where I just decided in my mind in October 2021 that Harsh, you should be doing Everest Base Camp. And yeah, that's where it just happened. Well,
That was your take on like how you got to Everest Base Camp, like what inspired you to go there. But the most important question is like, what was your parents' reaction when you first told them that, mom and dad, I want to go to Everest?
oh my God. They were like, dude, are you okay? What's wrong with you? And I think they were very supportive. I love them a lot. They were super supportive and they were like, hey, why not? Let's just do it because this is fun. This is your life. My dad was clearly very excited because he's like, yeah, Harsh, you should be living your life to the fullest. And he was super supportive.
It is a very great thing that yes, we have supportive parents and they look at us with those same dreamy eyes that we have, and they encourage us to like go and fulfill them.
Yeah.
So that's a very good thing to have.
I mean, I'm super blessed to have them, and I'm super blessed that they are over supportive towards every dream of mine. And I think without them, Everest wasn't possible, guys, to be really honest, because they were my biggest motivation always in my mind, like how proud they will be when I come back with an Indian flag there on the Everest Base Camp. So, I don't know, it gives me goosebumps.
So this brings me to the most amazing question that I feel it is that after you decided that okay, now I have filled out the form, I am going to Everest, and what was your journey for backpacking? Like what all things went down?
Oh my God, I have spent like 72 hours in decathlon in total, I mean in parts, and my journey has been insane. I love everyone at Decathlon. They had been like such a huge support. They were like helping me with pick this, pick that, it's gonna be like minus 27, it's gonna be this, that, so be prepared for it. So the shopping was really the exciting part, and I'm like, wow, you know, I had to shop a lot because I have to take care of myself because, you know, your body, your health, everything is the priority, so you can't be compromising on that. But shopping was so much fun, like, you know, like all the trek gears, you're like picking up poles, tents, whatnot, and it's super fun.
That is just amazing that we have such great stores and we can go out, even they are friendly, they help us to pick out different things. That's great. So coming to the next and important question, like not so much exciting but money. How did you fund this expedition? Like did you go out like on your own money? Did your parents partly fund it? What was it?
So it was actually purely my parents, okay, because of course they support me, they support my dreams, they support my life, and I think my parents have been a huge blessing. As I told you, so they have been a big catalyst in making my dream possible. So yeah.
That is really nice to hear. So, okay, now you are done with your backpacking, you are done with your funding, you are all set to go to Everest now. So what was it like a night before that you were going to leave from Mumbai and you were gonna go ahead on this adventure of yours?
Oh, it was very exciting because I had my COVID test done that day, and I'm like, dude, my entire trip is on this COVID test, and it was negative at 1 a.m. and I'm like, wow, I'm finally going. And of course, I could not sleep the whole night because see, that was, I never know if I'm gonna come back or no. This possibly might be a last day at my home. So it was interesting, it was exciting, it was thrilling, it was scary, but it was the best experience, and I can't just put it out in words.
That's amazing. Don't we all get a sleepless night before we are going somewhere?
I mean, dude, it reminds me of my school picnic days where I'm like, woohoo, tomorrow we're going to picnic. So yeah.
Correct. So okay, that was just the night before that. Now, okay, tomorrow morning I'll step out from Mumbai and I'll go. So how was the path? Like, did you fly to Delhi? You changed from there? How did you reach the base camp?
So it's a fun journey actually. So you have to go to Kathmandu from wherever you are, and then you have to take a private jet to Lukla airport, which is the world's deadliest airport, and very scary actually because my flight clearly crashed there. And of course, post that you have to walk for like good 8 days, like not walk, actually climb like so many mountains, and that's when you reach Everest Base Camp, because the altitude is 5,463 meters, which is very high, and oxygen is very less. So that's how the journey is, but it's fun. It's all worth it.
So basically it's a pretty long journey. So like, did you have a stay in Kathmandu for a day or a half of a day?
Yeah, so I was staying in Kathmandu for a day, and also the flight to Lukla depends completely on the weather. So if the weather is bad, you can't fly. You might possibly have to stay there for a day or two or so maybe. So yeah, it's tough, but it's fun.
So okay, now coming to the interesting thing that it caught my attention. You mentioned that your flight crashed.
Yeah.
What exactly went down?
So basically the runway is not the ordinary runway at Lukla airport. It's the smallest airport, world's deadliest airport. And the thing is, the airport is very small, and the runway is completely on a slope. It is completely inclined, and on that slope, we could not land actually. So we directly bumped, like we bounced instead of smooth landing. We bounced on the airport, and our private jet got like huge jerk, and we all thought this is the last minute of our life. But the moment we were like, oh wow, we are alive, it was like, yes, we got back into life. So that was pretty much it, and it was fun.
Wow. I would have been petrified if I was in that flight. I don't know what I would have done.
I mean, my journey clearly started with death actually, maybe, like, you know,
Quite a near experience to death.
Experience, and it was, whew, I have a wonderful life. That's what I realized.
God bless us all. Okay, so you landed there. You finally had a safe landing. You turned out like you are alive. You are sitting right in front of me. So how was the trip from the airport to your base camp? Like, how is the accommodation over there? How did you find, like, were you living in tents, sleeping on snow, like in middle of the snow, not in snow of course?
I wish we were sleeping in the snow. It's very exciting and scary at the same time. But Everest Base Camp, the Sherpas there have done a fantastic job. The Sagarmatha National Park has done a wonderful job there. So we have cottages there, we have, like, you know, good rooms there. So we can actually stay in a good ambience actually. You know, you get rooms, you get yak shawls, like, you know, shawls made out of yak wool, which keeps you warm, which is amazing. So we had a pretty good stay. We clearly did not have to stay in tents, but which makes our trek much more easier.
Yeah, because see, an uneducated person like me about these conditions would be like, okay, you were sleeping in tents, because many of us think okay, when we are going to such extreme places, there won't be any accommodations.
Yeah. No, I think if you just Google search Everest Base Camp trek, there are so many amazing companies who take you there, and I was very lucky to go with V Ramblers because they have been a catalyst in making my dream possible. And I think life is pretty much easy there. You just have to Google it, and it's all right there, right? It's all right there.
Everything is Google, correct?
Yeah.
Great. So after this, okay, you went there, you had good accommodations, but you mentioned that you had yak shawls and blankets. So what was that temperature like? Like, were you experiencing such cold temperature for the first time?
I have like pretty much been to the temperature which is minus 5, 6, 7, max 10. But then when it comes on minus 27, it was very challenging. But you know, these people have planned and designed your itinerary in such a way that you know, you get good time to acclimatize
नए वातावरण के अनुकूल ढलना
your body so that your body does not react, there are no problems, and you get adjusted very well to it. So that was the thing.
So Harsh, tell me about the people that were with you on this trek. Like, did you meet some amazing and interesting people with you?
The best part of this trek is what I call life on Everest, that is what I call it, is something very beautiful. Well, you meet so many new people, you meet so many exciting people who are highly motivated, because as I keep saying, not everyone is blessed or has courage to do this. So you meet people who are with equal motivation and full of life, and it's very different. I just can't put it in words because you would clearly have to experience that thing, you know, when you meet so many people with same goal, one destination, but different people. The unity what you feel, the bond what you feel is completely different.
That's great. So while you were having a chit chat off the camera, you mentioned that you had 3 amazing people who took a really good care of you. So tell me about that.
Oh, wow. I mean, I was very upset about the fact that, you know, I don't have youngsters in there, but I was very excited. You know, people at the age of 33, 34, 35 and beyond are also equally, like, you know, excited to do this. And I think Trek is all about taking care of each other. And I literally got 4 crazy best friends who really took care of me. Like, because since I was the youngest in the group, they have over pampered me and taken care of me like a little baby, and they have been like, hey, are you alright? Do this, do that. They have been my guardians out there, you know, like this is how strangers become best friends. So, I mean, Vishal, Dan, Ashish, Kaushalya, this 4 people were my people there who have been my savior. Without them, this trek was completely not possible. So, yeah.
Now we heard that you made friends, you had a very good group of people who took care of you very nicely.
Yeah.
Alright, but even if they were taking care of you, there must have been something that went wrong. There has to be, because it is Everest, there is very less oxygen for you to breathe, it is too cold, you barely get something that is warm. So what went down?
Well, I don't know how do you know this question, but it's very true. 1 hour prior Everest Base Camp at Gorakshep, my oxygen level dropped down to 60. I really thought that this is going to be the last day of my life, or possibly I'm going to be put on oxygen or something. But of course, I love the Sherpas there. They have been taking care of me like so well. So we had 1 hour lunch break, and they made me drink a lot of water, a lot of coffee, a lot of garlic soup, ORS, and they're like, just consume as much water as you can. And within 1 hour, I was like, let's do this. Let's do the Everest Base Camp. And in 1 hour, I was ready for it.
I can really feel the energy coming out of you, that it is the same thing that you might have experienced after getting the news that, okay, now my oxygen is just all right and I'm finally going.
Yeah, I mean, that was like the excitement, like of climbing, of that journey, which was insane.
So finally, after the whole oxygen dropping fiasco, you started walking towards the Everest Base Camp, correct?
Yeah, that was like 1 hour away, and water, that was the savior that gave my oxygen back to normal, and that's why we call it H2O, that is oxygen. So that was 1 hour journey from there, and I remember the energy what I got was into 10. One, that was excitement that you're just 1 away from it, and I see I'm fumbling right now, you know. I just can't, like, I don't know, I'm going nuts just thinking about it. So at that time you can imagine how crazy I was, because I'm like, ab jo bhi ho shola banke parvat par hai chhana. And that feeling, I was literally listening to all this positive songs. It was like Laksh ko har haal mein pana hai, and then luckily my phone was awake at that point of time, so I was listening to all these motivational songs and I was literally yelling, dude, there's already limited oxygen there. I mean, you're on an altitude of 5,000 plus, and the energy what I was getting was really crazy. And then there was a beautiful song, कंधों से मिलते हैं, कंधे से कदम मिलते हैं, हम चलते हैं जब ऐसे दो दिन दुश्मन के हिलते हैं. So the unity, it reminds you about one destination, one dream, different people, and the unity of it. So I don't know, that is something I can never ever feel again in my life, but that was the best thing. That 1 hour, खुदा भी मुझसे नहीं छीन सकता. That was that 1 hour for me, and it was more crazy. वो बोलते हैं ना कि कभी-कभी ना the destination does not matter, but the journey does matter, and that 1 hour had everything, like the drama, the emotion. I have cried, I have laughed, I have yelled, and then there was the base camp.
So that was amazing. I'm sure that this is the longest and the most memorable hour of your life.
Yeah.
So after this 1 hour journey, when you finally reached your destination, were you feeling chills, like apart from the literal chills outside, but how was it? Like how mesmerizing and how satisfying was it?
I realized the temperature did not matter. Nothing mattered to me. My life, when I saw that base camp, when I saw that stone, all mattered was me and that base camp. My entire life flashed in front of me. I literally fell on my knees and I started crying like hell because I just reached. I reached one of my biggest dreams and have conquered it. Because when you conquer a mountain, you don't conquer a mountain, you conquer yourself. And I'm at the base camp!
That is just amazing. I feel like I should have been there with you, taking this whole experience along, but...
Oh, you should. I'm clearly vibrating right now. I don't know, I'm gonna fumble, I'm gonna vibrate, I'm gonna cry, but yeah, that's the beauty of mountains.
That's great, man. That's really great. Finally, like you got there, you were really excited. What is the another side of it? Like, see, many people go there, like, and yes, most of them return back, but there are few poor souls who don't come back.
Yeah, actually that is a very emotional thing because there's a beautiful place at the height of 4,000 meter where there's a place called Everest Memorial where you see a lot of people who made it to Everest, who could not make it to Everest, and you realize like this people were so highly motivated. These people was like chasing their dreams, they're living their life. But this is what happens in mountains. This is what we trekkers are. We just risk our lives for conquering that one mountain. So we are just full of life. We know that life is designed for. I just can't say it because it just makes me very emotional. I just feel very bad for people who were unable to make it, people who made it but could not just return. I don't think so I can be commenting on it because I clearly can't speak things right now. But I love everyone there. I don't know what to say.
I cannot even fathom the thoughts that you might have had while you were at the memorial.
Yeah.
So, damn, even I am out of words right now. Anyways, you went there, you had this amazing emotional experience, you learned something, you came back as a different person.
Yeah.
So, now that you have conquered the mountain, you got to go to your base camp, you finally returned. So after coming back, how often have you missed and you have felt like I want to just pack another bag and in the middle of the night I want to run away?
I think that's every second. The moment I left Lukla airport, I'm like, can we just land again? Can we just be there? Because when you hold Indian flag on Everest Base Camp, I just can't explain, and I feel like every minute, every second, and when you guys are talking to me about this, I am just regretting not being there. I feel like Harsh, just go there and now just come back with an Indian flag on the tip of the Everest, and which is going to be very soon, very soon.
That's amazing. So basically, after returning from the base camp, you have already been indulged in planning to go to Everest itself.
Yeah, so now I'm officially certified that I can be doing the main Everest summit. I just need few years or months maybe to prepare myself, and there we go with the Indian flag on the tip of Mount Everest.
I'm really glad that we had this talk, and I'm really sure that you will soon go and conquer Everest, and very proudly like switch to Hindi, वहाँ चोटी पर जाके
भारत का झंडा लहराएंगे, and with immense pride, भारत माता की जय and जय हिंद बोल के आएंगे for sure, making entire country proud, because it's not Harsh Doshi who goes to Everest, it's one Indian who goes to Everest, who represents the country and makes India proud, makes himself proud. And I think the biggest win for me, more than conquering that mountain, the only win for me is me holding the flag on the tip of that peak. So yeah, we'll be doing it very soon.
On this very sweet and emotional note, Harsh, thank you for being such a great sport and doing this interview with us.
Thank you for having me here, and I'll see you again when I come back from Mount Everest, the main summit.